everyone! Welcome to Math Monsters. Today, you will be given some word problems with 3 units. In those 3 units, there will be one unknown unit. And your job is to figure out that unknown unit. You will be given clues, so use those clues carefully, look for them, and you'll be able to figure them out. Good luck! Let's get started. Finding out missing units. Comparison. Here's our first problem. Katie had 9 cookies. She gave 3 to Jack. Then Annie noticed that she had 4 times as many cookies as Katie. How many cookies did Annie have? Okay. So, notice what's happening in the first 2 sentences. Katie had 9 cookies and she gave 3 to Jack. So what's our first step in the problem? What operation is it going to be in? That's right, mathematicians. It's going to be in subtraction. So, the equation would be 9 minus 3. Because Katie gave 3 to Jack and she started with 9 cookies. So 9 minus 3 equals 6. Okay, now we found out our first step. Yay! So now how much does Katie have? Now? That's right, she has 6 cookies. Later what happens is that Annie notices that she had 4 times as many cookies as Katie. So if Katie has 6, then how much does Annie have? Remember, Annie has 4 times as much as Katie. So that means, what would you need to do to find out the answer? I'll give you some time to think. And here's a clue word, times. That's right, multiplication would be the operation. 6 times 4. That is how much Annie has. So, go into your multiplication tables. Think what 6 times 4 is. You can do it, you guys. We're almost done. Six times 4 equals 24. So what does Annie have? She has, dun dun dun, 24. Annie has 24 cookies. Hooray! We found out the answer. Let's move on to the next problem now. Ta-da! Here's our second question. Anna had 24 books. That's a lot of books. After giving Max 6 books, she noticed that she had 3 times as many books as Sarah. How many books did Sarah have? Did you notice something different in this question than the previous one? I'll give you some time to observe more carefully. Here's the previous problem if you need to look back to it. First, we subtracted 9 minus 3. Then we multiplied. 6 times 4 equals 24, and that's our answer. Here's our second problem again. Did you figure it out? Okay. In the previous problem, the first character had in the first one, the last character had several times the first characters. See? It says Annie noticed that she had 4 times as many cookies as Katie. She's the last character and Katie's the first character. And she has 4 times as many cookies as Katie. And in this problem, Anna has 3 times as many books as Sarah. So that means Anna has more times as many as Sarah. So she has more than Sarah. But in the first problem, the last character had more than the first character. So that's the difference. Let's move on to the steps now. Look at the first sentence. Anna had 24 books. And then she gave Max 6 books. What operation is going on in here? That's right, subtraction is going on. What number do you need to subtract from what number? You need to subtract 24. Oops, sorry, that was the answer. I hope you didn't look at it though. You need to subtract 6 from 24. So 24 minus 6 equals 'Here's a technique. You could subtract to the nearest tens. By nearest tens, I mean when you're subtracting, what's the first 10 you come to? If you're adding, then it's the first 10 that you count when you're adding. But since now that you're subtracting, what's the first 10 you reach when you subtract? It's not always the nearest 10 to the number. In this case, it's the nearest 10 when you subtract. 20 is the nearest 10. But what if you were adding and the number was 26? Sorry, the number was 24 if you were adding. Then you couldn't add to 20, you could only subtract. But since it's addition, you would need to go to the first number you would add on to. But in this case, since it's subtraction, what's the first number you would come to when you subtract? 23, 22, 21, 20. That's the first 10 that you come to. So that's the first 10 you come to. How much did you subtract to go in there? 24 minus what equals 20? That's right, 24 minus 4 equals 20. You subtracted 4 and now you're at 20. But you need to subtract 6. How much more do you have to subtract? You still have 2 more. So you need to subtract 2 from 20. And that equals 18. And now you subtracted all of the 6, so you're ready to go. The answer is 18. Now you found out what Anna has now. She has 18. And then she noticed that she had 3 times as many books as Sarah. So if she has 18 and she has 3 times as many books as Sarah, then what do you need to do? That means 18 is 3 times some number. And you need to find out that some number. What do you need to do that? Think about it. That's right. You would need to use division because it tells you what number times another number equals the whole. So in this case, 3 times some number equals the whole, which is 18. So in that case, you could use division. Okay, so now you can start dividing. What's the equation? You got it! 18 divided by 3. We almost found out what Sarah has. You could do it. 18 divided by 3, everybody. Think about your multiplication facts. What times 3 equals 18? Come on, guys. You could do it. That's right. 3 times 6 equals 18. In other words, 18 divided by 3 equals 6. Did you find out the answer? Yes, you did. You found out the answer. Sarah has 6 books. Bravo, everybody! Dun, dun, dun. Sarah had 6 books. Great job. Let's move on to our last problem now. Here's our last question. Jackson had 7 pens. After Sam gave Jackson 8 pens, Jackson had 3 times as many pens as Sally. How many pens does Sally have? What's different in this problem than all the other problems? What's the first step in our other problems? Let's take a look. In this problem, the problem we just looked over, the first step is subtraction. What about in this problem? In this also, the first step is subtraction. You're subtracting 3 from 9. Let's come back to this problem. What's happening first? Jackson had 7 pens, and then Sam gave Jackson 8 pens. What's the operation happening this time? Did you figure it out? That's right, addition is happening. You're adding 8 to 7. It's easier to do the bigger number first, so 8 plus 7 instead of 7 plus 8. So that's our first step. It's addition. What's another difference from this and the previous problem? In this problem, Jackson had 3 times as many pens as Sally. In this one, it's this one. In this one, the last character noticed that Annie noticed that she had 4 times as many cookies as Katie. Katie's the first character and Annie's the last character. In this one, Jackson, who's the first character, had 3 times as many pens as Sally, who's the last character. In the first one, the last character had more than the first one. And in this one, the first character has more than the last one. So that's a difference. We already found out earlier that our first step is addition. 8 plus 7. So think about it. What's 8 plus 7? Remember the strategy I told you? You could use that in addition too. Count to the nearest tens and add the remaining ones in that number you need to add. So add up to the nearest tens in 8, 9, 10. You got to 10 and you already counted 2. Right? How much more do you have remaining in that 7? 5. So now you're at 10 and you need to add 5 more. So 10 plus 5 equals 15. Now you got the answer to our first step. 7 plus 8 equals 15. Sorry, I wrote that wrong. It's 8 plus 7 equals 15. But you could also switch it up and you get the same answer. Okay. And now, so now Jackson has 15 pens after Sam gave Jackson 8 pens. So now Jackson has 15 and he has 3 times as many pens as Sally. And you're trying to find out how many pens Sally has. Well, if Jackson has 3 times as many pens as Sally, and Jackson has 15, then what do you need to do? That means something times 3 equals 15. Right? If you switch the problem up. So what times 3 equals 15? Think about your multiplication tables. Did you figure it out? That's right. 3 times 5 equals 15. In other words, 15 divided by 3 equals 5. That's something in common in this problem and the previous one. The second step is using division. So 15 divided by 3 equals 5. Bravo! You found out that Sally has 5 pens. Great job. Sally has 5 pens. Oops, that says pencils, but it's pens. Great job, Sally has 5 pens, and you figured that out. Great job, you guys. I hope you had fun. And until next time, keep doing math and keep learning. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notified for some more engaging videos. Bye!